Ben Wundersitz from Maitland. We trade as Anabinna. I'm a 5th generation farmer, and we mainly focus in the production of lentils, wheat and barley with a bit of canola. We've had a big focus on harvest fires. We've been growing lentils, as I said, for about 20 years now, so we've had to be really proactive in managing that fire risk during the harvest. We focused on anywhere that's hot in the machines. We started covering the manifolds with materials such as fibre fracks initially. Later on we moved on to ceramic coating. Beyond that, we looked at the air intakes, and now you're seeing a lot of modifications around covering those air intakes to try and stop the dust actually entering the engine bay. Some machinery manufacturers have now completely removed the cooling package out of the engine bay, so you're not continually sucking dust through those hot areas. We've been working with our local dealers over the years, and some of them have got really good at supporting growers in modifying the machines to make sure they're the best they can be. We've had a big focus on if we have an incident to try and keep it in the paddock. We've put a couple of extra water extinguishers on the headers. We now have fire units on the pickup bins, and pretty simple system that they can just start the pump and it's got a fixed nozzle and they might be able to drive around a smoulder. We've also got hoses on the pickup bins. Beyond that, we've got a couple of our own ex-CFS trucks. We've put 6,000 litre tanks in them. In the last few years, after some serious incidents, we've now started putting proper fire protection clothing in our fire trucks, and we also have fire blankets. If we get in a position in a fire that we get uncomfortable, we just know that our people are protected the best they can be. We've made it standard practice that we blow down the machines every night. We have diesel compressors mounted on our comb trailers, so they're nice and close to where we're working. In conditions, particularly in lentils where we feel there's a higher risk, we'll blow those machines down as often as every couple of hours. One of the simplest things we've found is really setting up the paddocks. We blow off the headers normally before we start a new field, and then just harvest 3 laps around the paddock, so we've got a 40-metre area around the field that's got a low fuel level. And where we can, we aim to harvest into the wind, so if there's anything coming off the machines, it lands on land that's been harvested. Around all the paddocks we farm, we generally have a 2.5 metre sprayed fire break, and then we also spray the fence line. In South Australia, we have a harvest code of practice where when the fire danger index, or FDI as we call it, reaches 35, we must cease harvesting. The big question is, when does it get to 35? Now we've got weather stations on 4 of our properties. We often share the cost of them with neighbours, but it provides the FDI direct to your phone, so we can track it as we're harvesting, and then we can make really informed decisions on when we need to pull up. We find infrared temperature guns are great for monitoring around the machines, especially in the engine bay where we're looking for high temperatures. Now we've actually set some company policy on if we pull up our machines, because we've exceeded the FDI, we try and get the machines in a corner of a paddock or potentially even in the yard, just so in the event of a fire that we don't lose all our machinery. We obviously have a big focus on protecting our people. We now even look on those extreme days, perhaps leaving one of our fire units at home, just to protect our home base where we have our house and our sheds and most of our machines. We also review our insurances every year pre-harvest, and just look at a lot of those assets like fencing and shedding that you often don't value, but if you lose them, ultimately they have to be replaced.